So now that you have your first controller, let's go over what each of these things on the controller actually does. So you can break down the layout of a DJ controller pretty much into two different parts, and that's the deck section, which is mirrored on each side, and the mixer section, which is in the middle. Now you can think of it as the deck section controls the timing of the music you're playing, and the mixer section controls the sound of the music you're playing. Now let's go ahead and start with the deck section first. The most important part, and probably the most recognizable part of a DJ controller, is the actual platter right here. And this, we can control the actual music with our hands. Move it forward, move it backward, just like that. Second, we have our looping section right here at the top. So say we start a song, I can set a loop in, and it'll just go ahead and loop around and around. Of course, a lot of controllers out there have an auto loop function. So if I go ahead and play that, it'll go ahead and set an automatic 4-bar loop, and I can get out of it by hitting that same button right there. Now below the platter, we have our pad section, which controls different functions in the software depending on what mode you're in. So right now we're in what's called hot cue mode, where you can set different points in a song and jump to them right away. So here I have the very beginning of the song, and this third one is where the vocals come in. Right? Really useful to get to the parts of the song that you want to start mixing in from, and pretty crucial in the digital DJ world. And of course, here on the left of the pad section, we have our start stop button. Then we also have what's called the cue button, which is kind of like a temporary hot cue. Right? Then I can go ahead and set another one, just like that. So if you're in a song and you don't want to set a permanent hot cue, you can use the cue button to set a temporary one that doesn't get saved. Now to the right of the pad section, we have what's called the tempo slider, or on turntables called the pitch slider, where we can change the speed of the song. So here's at 0%, which means the original tempo. I can slow it down. I can speed it up. And this is what we use to get the songs to match tempo-wise or speed-wise to have a seamless blend. Now in the middle of the DJ controller, we have the mixer section. And let's just go ahead and start from the top. Here we have what's called the trim, or sometimes called gain. This controls the volume of the song. And on a piece of DJ gear, there's actual multiple ways to change the volume of a song, but trim's still really important. Right below that, we have the EQ. Usually it's something called a 3-band EQ, where you can affect the highs, the mids, and the lows. You can think of this as treble, middle, and bass. So for instance, I can take out the highs, increase the highs, same with the mids, and of course the bass. And we use this to help blend the two songs that we're mixing together so they're not clashing as much. One thing that DJs like to do is take out the lows or the bass of the song that they're bringing in and then slowly swap it out with the song that they're mixing out, just to make it sound smoother. Now below that, the EQ, we have what's called a filter, and this is basically the high and the low kind of in one knob. So I can take out the highs, turn it the other way, I can take out the lows. Now it sounds a little different than using these, but it's really effective to use it because it's all in one knob and really quick to get there. Now below the EQ section, we have the fader section. So this is what's called a channel fader, and this controls the volume of the song you're playing. So we'll use these to kind of swap out the volumes of the two tracks we're bringing in, and it's just a lot smoother than trying to do it by the trim or the gain at the top, and just a lot easier to get to, a lot clearer down here and less reaching. So a lot of DJs, most DJs, use this instead of just the trim. Now below the channel faders, we have the crossfader, and what this does is, depending on the side, it'll completely cut off the song that's playing. So you can think of it as, if you just want to hear this track, we'll move the crossfader to this side. If I just wanted to hear a track on this side, I would move it to this side, and this side would be cut off. Now I know I skipped these buttons right here in the middle. These are the cue section or the headphone section, and this allows you to select what side you'd like to hear in your headphones. And I skipped that because the actual controls for the headphone volume are on this side. So you can pick between hearing what's on these buttons right here. From this knob, this is called the Q blend. And then this is the actual volume of the headphones right here. And on top of just hearing what's in one side of which deck, you can also cue what's called the master, or what the crowd's hearing, by selecting this button right here. And this is what the blend is for. You can select between each side or select what's being heard from the crowd. And finally, on this side of the mixer, we have the effects section. And this is the really fun stuff. So what I can do is I can go ahead and select an effect. Let's go ahead and show my effects panel here in Serato. And I can do stuff like, let's switch this from a filter to say something we can hear, like a dub echo. So here we have, I can turn this on with this on-off button, and I can control the level of the effect that we're hearing using this knob right here. Pretty much all the major DJ softwares have tons of different effects that you can try. Now some favorites are echo, delay, reverb, tremolo, or a phaser or a flanger. Those are some that you might want to play with because there's some that you've probably heard other DJs use a lot. And that's it for this week's DJ Basics. We went over the actual hardware or DJ controller that you'll be DJing on. Next week, we'll cover the DJ software and how we use that and how it integrates with the DJ controller. If you guys are interested in more DJ related content, be sure to click on one of the videos right here. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.